way down. I'll see you on the way down. I'll see you on the way down.
You know, I lived in Hollywood for 32 years, and there's a lot of people who want to make it, and there's people who have great disposition and attitude, and then there's the arrogant asshole who, you know, makes you need these people because it makes you humble or it makes you try harder. And then if you make it, if you're lucky enough to have success of some kind, then you become this asshole.
He was a Navajo. He was flying on a UFO. He was a Navajo.
We were debating not to put this song on the record, but there's something about it that's charming. This is something that actually happened to me, but I made it into a fantasy. I had this old 55 Rambler Nash, and I used to drive home from Los Angeles, from Hollywood to El Paso, Texas, to visit my family on you know, the holidays with Janet, my wife. And on the way back from El Paso, we somehow got off the road and we saw a green light, and we don't really remember what happened. And then when we got home to Hollywood, our parents, both our parents, had been calling we had phone machines back then. This was the 80s or 70s. Actually, it was the 70s. And they were like, "Where are you? You haven't been calling us back. It's been a whole day." So we were like, "Wait, how could it be a whole day?" So we thought maybe we got abducted by a UFO. And I wrote this silly song. We don't know if we were abducted, but something happened. We smoked too much marijuana or something. I don't know. We drank the Kool-Aid, but so I wrote this funny song, and somehow there's some truth to it, but not, you know. Of course, there wasn't any Navajo in a UFO.
Oh baby, let me be your wild love.
Wild Love. That song I wrote. I had a band called the Cruzados in the 80s, and we did a tour with Fleetwood Mac. We toured with Fleetwood Mac for 3.5 months, and I was in Portland, Oregon, and it was snowing, and I was coming back from the hotel that the Fleetwood Mac was staying at. And in the taxi, there was an Elvis Presley impersonator on the street in the snow. And I thought I was on acid. And a man was yelling at him. He had him against the wall. And the Elvis Presley was really drunk. And I turned to the taxi driver and I said, "Elvis Presley's still alive." And the taxi driver didn't think that was funny. But when I got to the hotel, I just thought, well, this is the weirdest thing I've seen in a long time. Then this song came out. I don't know why. It has nothing to do with Elvis Presley, but I had an emotion of some kind, or I had some feeling from the snow and the weirdness, and I thought, how wild, how crazy, you know, it's like a David Lynch movie or something. And I wrote this song.
You don't scare me, Spider-Man.
You don't scare me. Peter had a beautiful riff, and I had this idea about, you know, the spider has 8 legs and all this stuff, and I wrote the song about, you know, the lyric about kind of the things that we were dealing with in Hollywood with all the producers and the agents and the booking agents and all these publicists and stuff, and how they kind of just grab you and take you, and you almost can't get away from them, or at least back then. So it was kind of a thing about how, you know, you're trapped in these things and you want to get away but you can't. So I use this term Spider-Man in it. The movies weren't even in production. I mean, this was way gone. And so we stopped playing this song live because when they started doing the movies, it was like, it was silly. Or the cartoons or whatever. Because it was a comic book, but it wasn't referenced to the comic book. It was more about corporations and their 8 arms around you and stuff like that. It's kind of boring. But the riff is good, the song's good.